Every day we move through our environment from A to B. In between, we might run, play, stretch, skip. But the body was made for movement, and not only is it beneficial to keep moving, it's absolutely essential for the health of us and our children. So tell me, Alicia, why is it important?
Well, I don't think I need to be described, going into detail about this. We've had so many messages about this throughout the years. But yeah, just like it is for us oldies, our kids need to be active too. When we're running and jumping and, throwing and whatever it happens to be, climbing, we're learning. Our body is learning different skills. And so it's really important that we encourage our children to get out there and just do something. And I know that it can be a little bit difficult sometimes because, it's not like when we were kids where, you just ride your bike up and down the street and everything was fine. Like, I would panic having my children out on the street now, without me directly supervising and all that sort of stuff. So it's really important that we make that time for our kids to be active, because when they're being active, they're learning. So they're learning about their physical capabilities, they're stretching their physical capabilities, they're taking risks. Hopefully it's just like small risks. I'm not talking like, let's climb onto the roof and see if we can fly risks. I'm talking about just like, if I stretch my arm this little bit higher, can I reach it and pull myself up? And, having all those different, just having a go at different things, learning to be persistent with something like, I want to get up that tree. I am going to climb up that tree, and trying over and over again and trying the different ways. Okay, so that way didn't work. What can I do here? And, at the moment I'm talking about children with typically abled bodies, but even children who are in wheelchairs or use walkers or require some sort of assistive device. This is important for them too. So, things like sometimes children who might have a bit of trouble walking and things like that, it's probably easier as a parent to put them in the pram, but it's better for them to have a go at walking for a little while, or scootering, or, pedaling or something like that. So quite often, what's the easiest option for us isn't always necessarily the best option for our kids. So movement can look like all sorts of things.
I love it. So, will moving look different for every child?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So there is the children with the, who are typically physically abled, and those children who have a little bit more trouble. But also it comes down to what children prefer, just like us. So for example, I have a gym membership and I use my gym membership for weights. The idea of spending an hour on a treadmill bores me to tears. However, I can go and do the red arrows, and the red arrow a few times, yellow arrow, green arrow, blue arrow, love them all. I can be walking for hours and I don't even notice that I'm exercising. I'm just having a good time. Whereas, I don't know, Brie, what do you like to do?
Pilates?
Pilates. See, Pilates would kill me. Okay, I don't want to do Pilates. And it's going to be the same for our kids. They're going to find what they like to do.
Yeah.
And so for some, it's going to be playing Tiggy constantly. I know my boys are particularly obsessed with handball. Every minute they're outside playing handball that they can. For other children, they're really into their soccer or their gymnastics or their dancing. Whatever it happens to be, it should be something that they enjoy, that they're going to get out and do. But, even things like going for a walk as a family, those sorts of things, taking the dog out, or even just wandering around the block, having a chat with everyone, away from phones and screens and all that sort of thing. So less screen time, more green time, that sort of thing. And when you're doing that, I don't know, it's building relationships, getting out in the fresh air, it's trying new things, it's just, so it's going to look different for everyone. Whatever suits you. You might be one of those really active families that, we're going water skiing this weekend. Cool. That's great. And your kids are learning so much, and just the experiences that they're developing along the way are wonderful.
Because it is quite a sedentary life that we live these days. There's a lot of sitting watching TV, a lot of sitting at work, a lot of sitting watching devices, sitting
phones,
in classrooms,
tablets, all that sort of stuff.
So children, I think we're sitting more and being sedentary more than we ever have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and like I said, it's not the sort of thing where, you know, back in the day, it used to be all the neighbourhood kids running up and down the street. You don't do that anymore. I don't know, maybe it's as safe as it always was, but it just doesn't feel like it is. And so, you know, these sorts of things, we have to make sure that we are taking that time to put movement in it. Not just for us as adults when we start going, oh my gosh, you know, better do some moving here, but also just for your kids, just to...
Yeah, if they start fighting, drop down, give me 20.
Well, they can. My nephew and niece, their stepdad is formerly in the army, and so he makes them do knuckle push-ups.
Wow.
Yeah, those kids are hardcore, so they can do them. So, you know, all those sorts of things, but, you know,
Make it fun.
Making it part of just your life, and so then hopefully as well, your kids will take that into adulthood. So not just for health, for, you know, like health as you go along, but also this is good for your mental health, but also your physical abilities and things like that.
And we've got to be good role models as well as parents.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So we're all like, hey, go and exercise, but we're sitting down and not doing any of it.
And eating chips. Sounds
Be a good
delicious.
role.
Yeah.
So how can people improve their child's skills then in moving?
Okay. You don't need to be spending lots of money. You know, it's not one of those things where you have to be buying all the very fancy toys and all that sort of stuff. You know, just a simple ball, you know, sitting on the floor with your child and rolling it back and forth. So they're learning coordination, you know, they've got that happening. They're moving to things like, you know, the underarm throwing, and when they catch it, you know, when they do the big arm catch, when they catch it all like that. Yeah, absolutely, you know, and then moving to different sized balls and all that sort of stuff. So it doesn't need to be a huge deal. You know, things like running around with them, that sort of thing. And, you know, these are good ways as well when you're doing things to be offering advice to your children about how they could try it differently and all that sort of stuff. So you're building your relationship with your kids as well, but also building their physical ability. And, you know, we need to make sure that we're doing these things because also fine motor skills are really important as well. So learning how to do the smaller things too, like, you know, playing with Lego or beading or whatever it happens to be. Learning how to do, you know, building the strength and the coordination in your hands, but also in your larger body and things. And it's going to help with things like walking. It's going to help with things like balance. So also, you know, the usual stuff like fitness and all that sort of stuff. But all these things, they work towards the fine motor skills and the gross motor skills, which, you know, it's pretty important as children are developing. And we want to make sure that when they're getting to school that they're able to do a wide range of different things. And so that way they can focus on learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's way better if your kids are energetic and burning it off.
Yeah, hopefully sleeping.
Yeah.
At bedtime.
So get moving. Whether it's a walk around the block, tossing a ball around, or picking up a new sport, there are many ways to get moving in a fun way. It's time to limit screen time and encourage green time. Now remember, no question is too silly or concern is too great, so Mission Australia are here to support you. Get in contact with them today. Get moving.